So first, let me give you kind of the big picture. The White House is not going to like any of this overall, but I'm just going to give you the top line national results here. I will go through these quickly. They all sort of point the same direction. Do you approve or disapprove of President Donald Trump's job performance? Answer, disapprove. It's 43-53, a net 10-point disapproval rate. Do you have a favorable or unfavorable opinion of Donald Trump? Answer, unfavorable. Do you support or oppose Donald Trump's refugee and Muslim travel ban? Oppose. Do you think the ban was well executed or poorly executed? Poorly executed. And then the answers to the subsequent questions just go exactly the way you're thinking they're going to go, exactly the way the White House doesn't want to see. Do you think the intent of the executive order was to ban Muslims from the United States? Answer, yes, it was the intent of that order to ban Muslims. Do you support or oppose banning Muslims from the United States? Answer, by a large margin, oppose. Who do you trust more to make the right decisions for the United States? Judges or Donald Trump? Answer, judges. Do you support or oppose the Affordable Care Act? Answer, support. Do you want Congress to repeal the Affordable Care Act? The answer is no. No, by a lot. Do not repeal it. Americans also say by a large margin that Donald Trump should release his tax returns. Americans now say by an even larger margin that he should divest himself from his business interests, something he has not done. In terms of the new administration's other signature policies, Americans, since you asked, oppose building a wall with Mexico if American taxpayers have to pay upfront for the wall. Americans do not think that millions of people voted illegally in the last election, even though the president says they did. And then look at this one. Asked about the New York Times and Saturday Night Live, Americans think both of those institutions have more credibility than President Donald Trump. So it's just unrelentingly bad news for the new administration in this new national poll. In terms of how the country views the new president, his policies, his credibility, I mean, broadly speaking, the country doesn't even believe him when he asserts that something is true. This is interesting, though. Even though every single question in this new national poll turns up a top-line result that is bad news for the new administration. Look at this. This is question 32 in the new poll. Quote, would you support or oppose impeaching Donald Trump? Answer? Don't know. Sure, 46% of the country is all ready to impeach the president less than 3 weeks into his time in office, and that's remarkable. But look at the opposed number. It's even Steven, 46-46, and almost 10% of people say they're not sure. So maybe that's some comfort to the new president. 3 weeks into his first term, he's still 4 points away from an actual majority of the country wanting him impeached. Of course, there's another way to look at the impeachment number, which is worse for the new president and the new administration. I mean, think about it. It's kind of interesting, right? You look at all the other results in this poll. People not liking the new president, not liking any of his policies, not believing him, not trusting him. It's kind of interesting that in a poll like this, the only question where he's not underwater is, should he be impeached? It's interesting, right? I think here's the black cloud inside that silver lining. I think the really bad news for the administration here is that this might be why we're getting that result on the impeachment question. Look, quote, who would you rather was president, Mike Pence or Donald Trump? Answer from the American public, ooh, not sure. Despite these spectacularly negative polling results for everything having to do with the new president, the only place where he comes close to a positive polling result is when people are asked to consider if Mike Pence might possibly be even worse. So yeah, maybe hold off on impeachment for a minute. That would make Pence president? Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, this is new national polling data from PPP. We've got this exclusively here tonight. But here is the on-the-nose part that I think is really important for what just happened this evening in the Ninth Circuit Court and the angry response the president has already had to this court and to other multiple federal judges who have ruled against him on his refugee ban and Muslim ban so far. This is what you get if you ask Americans as a whole, quote, do you think Donald Trump should be able to overturn decisions by judges that he disagrees with? Ask the whole country, yes or no. The answer, resoundingly, by almost 40 points, is no. No, of course not. We're Americans. We know how the Constitution works, right? The president should not be able to overturn decisions by judges just because he disagrees with those decisions. That's the national answer. But now look at this. Ask that same question to Donald Trump supporters, and this is what you get. Donald Trump voters, an actual majority of them, say that Donald Trump should be able to overturn decisions by judges that he disagrees with. 51% of Trump supporters say, yeah, he should. And so, tonight, the judiciary, once again, in the biggest way yet, said no to the president. This